Today, we're going to dive into an article from Viridian Capital Advisors about SPACs, that's specialty purpose acquisition companies, and how they are underperforming the cannabis market. All coming up.
It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast.
Another word for specialty purpose acquisition corp, SPAC, is a blank check company. So essentially they kind of come together and can do whatever they want. The other advantage of being a SPAC is that it's kind of treated like the 80s, where going public is a less scrutinizing experience. It's also less expensive. So an IPO is around 4.2 million, a reverse takeover, RTO is about 800,000. You can spend a fraction of that via a SPAC. So finding somebody that's already public, bringing you in, and then spinning you off afterwards is a lot less scrutiny, a lot less expensive. But what have they done? Let's dive into that and see, because they've kind of been you've heard a lot about them, right? So there's a significant part of the cannabis landscape. The first one was Cannabis Strategy Acquisition, or AYR Wellness, back in 2017. So right now, 23 SPAC IPOs have been completed, totaling $4.2 billion. So 5 SPACs, they had original proceeds of $920 million, acquiring non-cannabis companies. So they're involved in wine all the way to space, but nothing in cannabis. So again, blank check companies, they bring all of this attention to cannabis. You think you're investing in that, and then all of a sudden they're kind of doing whatever they want. There's another 5 SPACs with original proceeds of, eight other companies with proceeds of 1.7 billion that merged with cannabis companies. Didn't really do anything. 10 companies with proceeds of 1.6 billion are looking for deals, and then some pending transactions. So looking at the graph kind of depicting annualized total returns on the green bar of each company since the SPAC transaction, while the orange dot represents an annual return from the Alternative Harvest ETF, MJ ETF, or exchange traded fund, over the same period of time. We saw a lot of hype into the cannabis stocks coming into the election, all kinds of administrative promises from Biden. And then once people realized after November and December past January, they finally started selling off and they haven't done anything. So they're kind of momentum stocks or Momo stocks that don't really move without, there's no fundamentals, of course, and people aren't looking at the technicals because there isn't institutional investors. And so they don't really go anywhere. Looking at Columbia Care AYR Wellness outperforming the broad cannabis ETF market. We've been tracking cannabis ETFs for a while, and they're just really bad overall. So those are the only 2 companies that did better. A couple of reasons for that: AYR Wellness, Columbia Care, rewarded for their aggressive acquisition program. So trying to take the limited license approach, not necessarily Arizona, but a limited license like Arizona, and allowing a company like AYR to outperform the broader index by 25%. I'm getting attacked by a cat, so I'm going to try to work through this here. But California competitors being punished significantly. Not sure about, it's a huge market, 5th largest GDP in the world, this 5th largest economy. And so a lot at stake, waiting to kind of see how that rolls out, especially with the lockdowns and everything else that's going on with California, mass exodus into Texas and other spots from small businesses and large. But in the last 6 months since de-SPAC transaction from TIPCO, it's down 85%. Glasshouse Brands, less than 6 months since it's de-SPAC, it's down 65%. They're both the 2 largest IPOs, 575 million and 420 million respectively. And then I think something to point out is that the most recent SPACs, they haven't been that receptive. They've had less reception to their stock, meaning people are not really interested in it, or maybe taking it a little bit with a grain of salt. I think they're probably in crypto more than wanting to speculate in cannabis, because they know cannabis doesn't move. literally like doesn't go anywhere. So maybe the group's performance is trying to help explain the most recent SPAC IPO, Canna Global. They had to use a whole warrant in its $230 million IPO last week. So not very good, I guess, is the overall story. When you have extra speculation, or when people don't really understand the SPAC process, and then there's just kind of all these cannabis companies, I think what they want to see is OTC 0.001 cent, and try just kind of like these coins make some money, and it's not really about management. It's not about the fundamentals at all. It's about speculation. And so when you get federal legalization, that'll be a huge opportunity for some of these companies that have that are zombie companies, meaning their debt is larger than their revenue, and shouldn't really be out there to begin with. But again, the kind of SPAC process makes it easy from less regulation, oversight, and all of that. So all in all, it looks like you're gonna have to do some due diligence and not just look at YouTube for stock advice.
With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.